Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the quantum world. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? I can dig it. I'm going to make sure I got sound, audio. Can I hear myself talking in the background now? Oh, I do. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, computer. Thank you, internet. Thank you, AI. How sweet it is. Yeah, you're living in the quantum world. Um, you are. We are. And I have to do my exercise, right? I have to exercise my lungs. So I'm very health conscious. And so I take this I take this very seriously. I do. So if you're listening to me, you've probably been down a lot of rabbit holes. Um, a lot of y'all don't have time to do the research, do the study. Um, Too many of you don't possess the um, cognitive abilities for critical thought, and many of you don't have the life experience um, to add to it to help sort some of this stuff out. And I'm telling you, if you got everything and things I don't have, it's difficult to figure out what the dickens is going on. It is. It's so dang difficult. Uh, so I want to help you where I can. You got a lot of people out there putting out content um, from the new news reporters and their commentary and their opinion, and most of them are reporting fake news to you, or they don't understand that we're in continuity of government and you should just get your popcorn. Uh, now, there's a little bit more to it than just get your popcorn. Um, get your popcorn, learn how to own your authority in the quantum world. Because that's where you're going. That's where you are. We're in continuity of government. Um, there's a global operation happening. Now, on all these truthers, on all these reporters, digital soldiers, digital warriors, First Amendment auditors, you name it, the whole collective, patriots the world over, putting out content. Trying to sort this stuff out is a stinking nightmare. Um, you got to be real careful about those that get platforms that get traction. There's a ton of misinformation that gets put out that way. And you've got gatekeepers that are narcissists um, in virtually every patriot chat group, think group, power group, you name it. And they're there to mess you up, to get you off track, or a lot of them are there with really good information. I call these the 80-20 guys, the 90-10 guys. And they're filling you with all this good truth. But they're keeping this real important information over here secret. and they can take you down this path over here, get your ass thrown in jail, get your ass in court, maybe end up in prison. Um, your life gets destroyed. So you got to be real careful who you're listening to. Now, I heard a talk with, get this straight. Okay, SGNN and a guy I believe goes by Captain Kyle, elderly gentleman. I saw him wearing a white cowboy hat. And this was a 4-hour talk. About 2 hours into the talk, they got into answering questions. And one of the questions was, did Russell J. Gould capture the flag? And SGNN and Captain Kyle both, without hesitation, said yes. And then moved on. This bothers me. Now, this guy SGNN, he's bringing out a lot of good information, it would appear to me, but I never detect any emotion in the man. It's like it's just like that, like a robot. You know, what a great time to be alive. It's just an amazing time. So what a great time to be alive, right? I mean, just a little bit of emotion, anything. I don't get it out of him. And the fact that this question gets raised in their talk, did Russell J. Gould capture the flag? And without hesitation, both of these guys were supposed to be intelligent, credible, giving you information that you need. And they both, without hesitation, yes, that's what he did. And boom, off onto the rest. And no discussion on it. I'm like, what the? Now, I've been studying, research, critical think. It's my life. From the minute I wake up till the time I go to bed. Every day, year after year. And I spent a great deal of that time living in fear. Now, fear never goes away when you're surrounded by danger. And when you know you're being attacked, and when you know they're out to destroy your life or kill you, or like it, the fear never goes away. However, that fear can be put in the back pocket where it's not affecting thought in a controlling aspect, in a paralyzing aspect, where it's empowering your thought, it's empowering your critical thinking. So if you don't know who Russell J. Gould is, let's see, sorry, I don't want to butcher this. Russell hyphen J Gould, period. I hope I got that right, Russell. It's Quantum Autograph. And I want to say hello. I have somebody in the chat here. Cult Slave Master 007. Glad to see you. Glad you're here. So if you don't know who Russell J. Gould is, I would suggest you check him out. Last Flag Standing. A lot of his content is on YouTube. And be prepared for a lot of study. Uh, learn your flags, learn your flag law. Um, the Title IV flag is the flag. It's your flag, Americans. And Russell captured it. And the flag's extremely important. And your everything is, I don't want to say everything, but everything moves in through shipping lanes with postal mechanics. And you can become a postmaster. You should be a postmaster. I'm a postmaster, but I did it on my own, owning my authority. It's not that I dismissed Russell. It's not. It's not that I thought I knew better than Russell. Um, I'm, I'm enjoying my coffee, even with the poison toxic water. Um, with To get the claim of the life through Russell, it was going to cost you a little bit of money, not a lot. And I didn't have that little bit of money, and I wasn't all that sure about Russell, um, and, and even though I've been not at that point could find nothing to discredit the man, nothing at all. Um, and his story is it can be very difficult to believe. Like my story is pretty difficult to believe, and Russell's in that same category, but push it up a couple of levels. Really hard to believe until you do the research, until you do the study, and then you start to believe. And then you got to understand, you got to comprehend, and then you got to figure out what does it mean to you? What does it mean to us? So, the Russell will tell you that the claim of the life isn't going to fix your problems. He's going to tell you stay out of their courts. Courts are closed. Um, but what it does is it teaches you who you are. It does make you a postmaster in the quantum world, and there's a lot. Russell has a lot of teachings on the postal mechanic, how to contract, how to operate with the postal mechanics through the postal courts, and you learn how to do a quantum autograph. You learn how to own your authority. It's very much in line with the teachings that I've brought forward with owning your authority and the Americans Notice of Liability, which is a Article 3 court of record document. And you're living in a time of continuity of government under martial law where you're going to have to rely on the maxims of law. Now, you also have the quantum world, the post office, not the United States Postal Service. It's if it says United States Postal Service on the outside of the building, that's the corporate entity. If it says United States Post Office on the outside of the building, well, that is your United States Post Office. Now, inside that United States Post Office, it's going to be filled mostly, in all cases, maybe things are changing, those employees, that would be quantum, not employees, employees. Employees means no employees. They've got our language so bastardized. Now, inside those United States Post Office facilities, you're going to find United States Postal Service workers. You're going to say United States Postal Service. That's that corporate entity. See, we got someone else in the chat here. In opposition to the New World Order. I like that. Exercising my lungs as well, but my exercise equipment is a little different. Well, I took care of that myself. I used a little exercise, different exercise equipment. I smoked a little bit of cannabis. I drank a cold cup of coffee, had a little chew tobacco, had half a cigarette laying there. I was able to smoke as I was waking up. And so I'll be out there doing some physical labor and barefoot grounding. We got a nice day today. I do have better lungs than a lot of young people who have never smoked. I've had these kids working beside me physically, and they're almost took a little phlegm down the wrong pipe. Maybe just a little bit there. Excuse me while I clear it out. So at any rate, I've done a lot to own my authority, and I've incorporated quantum. So I'm not going to say, let me go over it with you. And I want everybody to stop saying let me when you shouldn't say let me. And you got a lot of these people standing behind a camera and a mic putting out content, and they're going to say, let me tell you this. Let me show you that. Let me. It's their damn show. What do you mean, let me? Everybody's saying, let me. And if you don't stop it, you're going to be saying, please let me have a couple of squares so I can wipe my backside. You just got to stop it, in my opinion. So I'm not going to say, let me show you what I've done. I'm going to own my authority. I'm going to take control here. And I'm going to show you and explain to you some of the things that I've done. Now, Russell canceled the birth certificate. All right, is dead. Courts are closed. However, these fiction courts are still operating. These tyrants are still doing what they do. And so I've done a lot of things. All right. This is a copy of my certificate of live birth. And this says father of child, mother of child. And their names are not in quantum, but they're not all caps. Fiction Corporation. All right. And neither is my name. So, Article 3 Court, right here, is original. And that's written in blue ink and quantum, full colon, original, period. All right. Down here at the bottom, a $1 stamp that's backed by gold. my quantum autograph, which touches the stamp, touches the paper, and my thumbprint, which is a seal. All right. Now, I added this. When I did this originally, I opened Article 3 court and I facilitated this. I shrunk that birth certificate down and then used scissors and trimmed it, and then put that in the blank spot of this document, ran it through, then took it to the public notary, where we got the verification. Notary is juris certificate, and this was facilitated on the 26th day of July, 2021. So nearly 2 years ago. And so about a year and a half later, I upgraded this by, it is an original, so I have in quantum, in blue ink, original up here. I added the $1 stamp backed by gold. This is not a United States Postal Service stamp. It's a United States Post Office stamp. That's my quantum autograph. That's my thumbprint. That's my seal. That means I own this contract in the quantum. I facilitated it with a public notary creating a notary as juris certificate, public record, court of record, lawful document. That's high court. Somebody's going to dispute this. They're going to have to dispute it in a court of record. They're going to have to bring a claim and a remedy. But you see, we don't learn this. We don't learn this. We don't learn it in school, and the bar attorneys aren't going to teach you that. Now, many of you aren't going to have this, a name change document. See, my mother remarried when I was young, and SOB adopted me. And I couldn't live with that man's name. I just couldn't. I got married with that name, had my firstborn with that name, and then I couldn't live with it. I had to change it. I changed it for me, my wife, and my firstborn. And I did that in, I think it's probate court. Take a look here. Order of name change. State of Michigan, probate court, County of Livingston. And this document, it's got my name, first letter capitalized on the first name, the middle name, and the last name. And so this was facilitated in that fiction court. What did I do? I created a Article 3 document, court of record. So comes now Athen, one of the people, as seen in the Michigan Bill of Rights, Article 1, Section 1, Constitution. G. Juris in this court of record do make the following claims. And then I drop in Article 1, Declaration of Rights, political power. All political power is inherent in the people. Government is instituted for their equal benefits, security, and protection. All right. These are my claims. This is also my claim. And verification, notary is juris certificate. And after studying Russell, learning about quantum, I upgraded this. This is an original document, so I noted it's an original document. It has the seal, the embossed raised seal here. That makes it original, but in the quantum, It's original. I added the $1 stamp backed by gold. I got my quantum autograph on there. I got my thumbprint as a seal. I own this in the quantum. All right. Now, many of you will have something like this title to your vehicle. And whether it's paid for or not, I don't think it matters one little bit. However, if you're in contract, I think that makes it a little bit more complicated. My vehicle is paid for. Ain't nobody got a lien on it. So I own my authority. I represent my straw man. That fiction that was created without my authority, without my knowledge, without my consent, and I was brainwashed into public schools with taxpayer money, MK Ultra, to be an absolute slave. Because it's the teachers in the public schools that operate as the driving instructors. So as you're going through puberty and becoming an adult and you're going to get out on the road, they tell you got to have a driver's license, you got to have registration, you got to have a tab, you got to have insurance, and then you're subject to all these slave laws. I'll tell you, you don't need that unless you're in government service or you're in commerce. So I represented my straw man. And I sold that vehicle to myself, the man. And then there's a place for signature. Well, with my authority, I struck that out and I put in autograph. And there I placed my autograph. However, I did this before I was in the quantum world. And so I just did the capital first letter and autographed my name to the new name that was officiated in that probate court all those years ago that I just talked about. Well, the vehicle's in the private. Now, did I do anything with this? Did I make copies and send it to the Secretary of State? Did I send it out to the governor? No. Why? I might one day. I might take this into the Secretary of State, but I don't think I'm going to have to. The way things are evolving and changing with the global alliance fight for our liberty and our freedom, and I am so targeted, and they want me silenced. So we know that they'll trump up charges. The best thing for any of us to do is just not to be in a situation where you're exposed to these parasitic, treasonous F's, right? So that's what I do. I stay away from them for the most part. And so we're under continuity of government. We're under martial law. We are in reconstitution. That gives me a lot of confidence in what I've done and did it all without the realization or knowing that we're in continuity of government and martial law. Or understand how any of that is operating or affecting us. So the Americans Notice of Liability. This is a powerful document. This is a very, very, very powerful document. And again, I've said this over and over. If you knew who you were, if we knew who we are as a people, none of this paperwork would be necessary. None of it. But the problem is, we don't know who we are collectively. So you can get a copy of this. It's cheap as free. And I made it the Americans Notice of Liability because I took the most powerful state constitution article section I could find, and then I crafted the language so that it works for all Americans. You cannot have a right in your state that you don't have in any other state. Your rights are unalienable, unalienable. They don't come from the Constitution. They were once constitutionally protected. Constitutions all clearly state anything repugnant to the Constitution must be abrogated. That means it has no standing, no jurisdiction. Your rights cannot be abrogated. That means they cannot be shortened. They cannot be diminished. And what are your rights? Are they constitutional rights? No, they're unalienable, unalienable rights that were once constitutionally protected. It was spoken. It was declared. But they're unalienable, unalienable. So know who you are. Own your authority. We, the people, have all power. These British agents that have infiltrated every aspect of society the world over and enslaved us have to be dealt with. Now, I upgraded my Americans Notice of Liability. Mine is with the language for Michigan, but it doesn't matter. I took the Indiana article section that says all power is with the people. That's not the exact verbiage. I don't know if it says inherent in the people or so I just stopped there. All power. All right. The people have all power. So I decided to use that one. Because most states say, like Michigan, all political power is inherent in the people. So, you see, they took civics out of school, and my generation's brainwashed, my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation, my great-grandparents' generation, my great-great-grandparents' generation, all brainwashed. And it has been a rapid acceleration in my lifetime of the clampdown from all this indoctrination. Now, I got involved with the PBI, People's Bureau of Investigation. Or might I say the People's Bureau of Investigation got involved with me. And at any rate, and not long after that, the People's Bureau of Investigation got involved with the Environmental Court, or the Environmental Court got involved with the PBI, or, and this was all about the water. and how all our water is toxic. And so the environmental court's instructions were to process the writs of execution through the post office with registered mail. And depending on your post office, you're just under $20 or you're maybe up to $25, $28 for one registered mail package. And one day someone came in a chat and enlightened us about prepaid first class mail with a 2-cent stamp for your tax and your duty. And I thought, wow, all right, let's do some research. Let's dig into this. So I research, I dig, I'm asking all kind of questions. All I can find is people saying, well, I do it and I do it this way. And most of the time it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And you got people doing lots of different things. And there's different YouTube videos. Well, I said, this is nonsense. We have to know. So I went to the post office. I'm going to step over here for just a second. I want to grab a couple pieces of paper here. Because I have all of them on the back side of the Americans Notice of Liability, along with a picture of the mailer. Now, this mailer made it all the way to Kingsland, Texas, to the Arrest Reward Processing Center, and the green card was returned to me. This is the register receipt. And in yellow here, I've highlighted, I'm going to read this off to you. I highlighted in yellow, negative $18.76, total $0.00, grand total $0.00. This is the 3806. This is the original. On the mailer, right here is a sticker, $0.00, right there, right below my finger, $0.00. And on the bottom right hand corner of that mailer is a 2-cent stamp. Now, up here in the return address, very important, it says Foreign Office of Origin. Now, I did this not because of Russell. I didn't do this with the claim of the life. I didn't do this with the Americans Notice of Liability. I just went in there with my mailer, and it's got this return address label here. It's got another label here. And then over here it says no postage necessary if mailed in the United States. That mailer went from Kalkaska, I believe, to Traverse City, I believe to Chicago, so that's across state line, then across many other state lines to get to Kingsland, Texas, and was delivered, and the green card came back to me. Foreign Office of Origin, done with a 2-cent stamp. I was so excited. We proved prepaid first class mail. And then several days later, it hit me. Holy shit, boy. You have been recognized as a foreign national to the United States in the jurisdiction of Kalkaska, of the village of Kalkaska, in the jurisdiction of the county of Kalkaska, in the jurisdiction of the state of Michigan, in the federal jurisdiction of the United States Postal Service, in the federal jurisdiction of the United States Post Office, in the global jurisdiction of the Global Postal Union. Foreign national of the United States. Diplomatic immunity. One of the best forms of identification is an affidavit. We just need to own our authority. So we have two very prominent truthers. Both questioned about Russell. Both don't bat an eye, confirm, and then bypass it. No conversation. No, nothing to help you. Nothing to help you own your authority. And so that really bothers me. It does. It really bothers me. It's something to think about. That's something to think about. So here's my passport. I did something else to own my authority. I got some paperwork that I carry in my passport. Let's take a look at what Ethan's got for paperwork that he carries around his passport. Oh my goodness. I got a $1 stamp backed by gold. Oh, that will give me the ability to contract in the quantum world. I have a $21 postal money order backed by gold. In the bottom right hand corner, I have a $1 stamp backed by gold. I have my quantum autograph there and my thumbprint as a seal. I can create a bond with that, I believe. I don't quite know how to do that, facilitate that yet, but hopefully I'm not going to have to worry about that. But my education is nonstop. I also have this in my passport that I carry with me. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is bonded together. Look at that. Bonded means it's glued. We have an original copy of all my paperwork verifying that I am a foreign national to the United States with diplomatic immunity. And on the flip side of that is a copy of my Americans Notice of Liability. Oh, we had something else attached to that. What is that? Well, most of you aren't going to have this. But you see, I have so much trouble here in Kalkaska with all this corruption, these parasites coming after me. And so we have evidence. All right, that's quantum, full colon, all caps, evidence, period, copy, full colon, copy, all caps, period, in blue ink. And this has my name up a capital first letter in both. And this is sent from the judge. This is, in my opinion, I don't know what else it can be except mail fraud and evidence of a judge operating outside of her jurisdiction. Don't ever go into their courts. Courts are closed. They're not courts. They're fiction. They're enslavement camps. They're morgues. They only talk to the dead, cannot communicate with you. So you're in the quantum world, folks. As far as I can tell, there's no turning back. There's no going back. This is where we are. So these are some of the things that I've done. I feel real good about it. I've held court. So let's talk a little bit more about the claim of the life, holding court. You see, your rights are unalienable, unalienable. You're there. And they were once constitutionally protected. Now, for years, decades, we got to look at guys with their, their Harvard sweater, beard, oh my goodness, what's his name? Hannity calls him the Great One. You got these constitutional scholars pondering the Constitution, never explaining a damn thing to you. That's because they're pondering a federal constitution that it started in 1871. I believe the Organic Act that just further enslaved us all. And then they've been lying to us ever since. That's repugnant. Has no standing, has no jurisdiction if you own your authority. So Georgia, state constitution, right to the courts. No person shall be deprived of the right to prosecute or defend, either in person or by an attorney, that person's own cause in any of the courts of this state. Well, that would mean the postal courts, military tribunals, even the fiction courts. But the fiction courts are closed, and you don't want to be in there anyways. And they all have a bastardized, disgraced American flag. It's got a gold fringe around it. That is a disgrace to the flag. They have defaced the flag. And that tassel, I believe that tassel represents the bar, British agents, titles of nobility. And they call it a court, but it ain't a court. It's a corporate fiction. It operates on assumptions and presumptions. It cannot communicate with the man. That's why you have to be represented by a bar agent, a British agent, where you are the lowest priority. Wow. Crystal, thank you for all you do, even if you're not being seen a lot. I see you. Well, hey, that's why I'm here. And okay, speaking of that, definitely I am shadow banned heavily. The Michigan Constitutional Crusader came out here, did a video, they put it out. I give him a lot of credit. He sat on it for a month. I think he had to do a lot of soul searching, decided to put it out. Very brave man, in my opinion. The man deserves a lot of credit for that. The comments in the live chat were all excellent. The comments in the comment section of the video, there's It says there's 47 of them there, but there aren't. And they're good comments. And instantly it went to 1.5, 1.6 thousand views. And then for about a week, it stayed there. And then it went up to 1.6 and then up to 1.7. So it's shadow banned. It's not getting the views that his other videos get, but it's good. That's a lot more views than my videos get. My videos are showing 20 views, 30 views, like that. So if I can help one, then this is worth it. Many of you aren't old enough to remember the old Revlon commercial. She told two people, she told two people, she told two people. Shows the screen populating on your TV, just filling up. Two people, two people, two people. So sharing is how we get this done, sharing the information. Now, I'm sure it's well over a year ago. I was contacted by a man by the name of Josh Eddy. Josh Eddy was being bothered by the tyrants. His children were being, he wasn't happy with the situation with his children in school, with some of these mandates and such. And he had issues out there on the highways and the byways. And so Josh had contacted me. Josh facilitated the Americans Notice of Liability. He opened court, Article 3 court. He served that Americans Notice of Liability on a sheriff, on deputies at the sheriff's department. A municipal officer came to serve Josh, and Josh served him. And that son of a bitch probably wished he was wearing a diaper. The way that tyrant, with his armor and his armament and his patrol car, the way he ran, got in his car and took off. Oh man, that was hilarious. Well, since then, so that happened, and all of Josh's, all the tickets from that situation went away. His traffic, and the situation with the school, I never heard anymore. I think that got straightened out. Well, then it wasn't much longer. Several months passed, and Josh has stopped. Here's the deal. Brian with Here's the Deal put this video out. And Josh's YouTube channel bloomed overnight. All of a sudden, he had a couple thousand subscribers. He could do live videos. He can, and I think they were monetizing his channel. They were running YouTube was running ads on his channel. He hadn't monetized. And I think he's being shadow banned. So, but since Josh did that one for Here's the Deal. Well, his video got put out, aired on Here's the Deal. He was doing 60 or 65 and a 30 or 35. Drove away from it. No ticket, no hassle, no nothing. More time passed, and Josh got ticketed. But he didn't take the same course of action. He didn't open Article 3 court. I think he stood more on his social compact. And he went into that court. But he went in as a peaceful inhabitant. Josh, he told me about it. I wish he'd put a video out. And explain it and show to us what he did. He said, I did make a couple of mistakes. Hey, we're going to make mistakes. This is how we learn. Sometimes those are the best mistakes. Hopefully they don't hurt too much. But I think he was looking at $600 in fines, or his straw man was looking at $600 in fines, and they got it on the record that they had his notice of liability and a few other things. Well, they dropped the charges down, fines, whatever, to I think $100, and I'm not sure how Josh dealt with that. He might have decided to pay it in coffee beans. So last night I got a message from Josh, and it's a YouTube link. All right, son of a gun. I'm gonna run over here and grab the speaker. I'm gonna be right back. I think you can still hear me. Okay, I got the speaker in my hand. Here we go. This is a short video. I'm gonna play for you. This is Josh got pulled over again. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna hold this up here. Let's see if I flip this. Yeah. There we go. Now we got full screen. All right. This is a short video, but you got to hear this. And one of the people on YouTube is Josh's channel. All right, one of the people.
Awesome. It's 53 here. Okay. And I do want to put you on, notice that, the people when they're in compact, and that's what, this paperwork is right here. And I do have your insurance card, but you probably haven't seen this, and I don't know if they've instructed you on it, but here's the last one that the last officer gave me a speeding ticket, and I served him notice, and I served it, the way it's supposed to be. Basically what it is the people we have the right to privacy. We have the right to privacy, okay? And we have the right to our private affairs, not to be arrested. Those lights that you're using now are for emergencies only. This ain't an emergency. What made it safe for you to come back behind me faster than what I was going to catch me? What made it safe for you, but not me, one of the people? Be safe, sir. Good night. You too, brother. Be safe.
All right, so that's it. That's it. That's how you do it, people. You own your authority. I don't know. Is anybody here? It says there's 0 people here, but I had 3 come into the chat, which is awesome. We have Cult Slave Master 007 in opposition to the New World Order, and Crystal Gardner, maybe. Thanks for being here. I hope this is helpful to you. We have the right to travel. We have the right to carry. Do you understand this talk about constitutional states or constitutional carry states? You have a First Amendment and a Second Amendment, and you're going to talk about a constitutional carry state? Why? Because you're a slave. Because we're slaves. We've been enslaved. We're living in a fear-based society. We don't know who we are. All states are constitutional carry states. Own your authority. There's a video on YouTube. Everybody, I really recommend that you watch this video. Now, I want to pull it up here because I want to make sure that I get the title right for you. I want to make sure I get the title right. Come on now, cooperate with me. I want this phone to not going to let me get back. How do I get back? There we go. Lord have mercy. Jordan Peterson made a good point recently. Why don't we have an on-off switch? Why do you got to hold that thing for 5 seconds to turn these dang things on and off? All right, so this YouTube video, Cop Block, I believe is the name of the channel, COP space BLOCK. When should you shoot a cop? This is an 11-minute, 36-second video. If you haven't watched it, I suggest that you watch it and share it. Share it widely. This is not a recent video. This has been up there for years. In fact, I'm going to click on it. Let's see. What does it say? This narration was written in 2011. In 2012, the legislation mentioned change course. Okay, so this is talking about the law change. That's legal. It doesn't apply to you. This has got 11,000 likes. It's got 919,000 views. It was put out in 2012 on November 9th. When should you shoot a cop? Frickin' media. Hey, bro. Man, I'm glad you're here. Why don't you come out and interview me? Bring Constitutional Crusader with you. I was a little bit out of my element when he was here because I'm used to doing my videos like this. It's just me. So I had a little bit of distraction. I was a little concerned about what I say, and I have so much to say, I can't get it all out. Frickin', I invite you to come out here and bring Constitutional Crusader with you, and maybe even interact, right? I mean, question, interview. We got the right to travel, the right to carry. Why can't we put that together? Why do we have so many lone wolves? Why do we have so many lone wolves? You got the right to travel and you got the right to carry. And if we would just simply organize and put together a right to travel, right to carry caravan, and then we got to make sure that we don't get infiltrators, because all it takes is one idiot. But we get an idiot, we'll take care of him, won't we? We'll take care of them, but we can't let an idiot destroy our movement. We have to show the people, because, well, I show you what I do. I show you what I've done. I show you what Josh has done. I show you what other people have done. Brian with Here's the Deal. He's put out several right to travel success videos. And now there's going to be 2 of them, I think, soon when Josh's gets up there. But we have this right. But we're so dumbed down collectively, and we're so fear-based, and collectively we don't know who we are. So we can't even take advantage of the truth and knowledge and benefit the way that we should. You've got a collective consciousness that works for monkeys. They on one island, they figure out to wash the sand off of their fruit in the water. Once it reached 100 monkeys on that island, because of collective consciousness, that information was transferred great distances to other islands, and all of a sudden monkeys on other islands are washing the sand off of their fruit and enjoying their meal. But we can show you and show you and show you and show you, and collectively we do nothing. And we have lone wolves that are taking it on the chin, and too many of them. You got Chile. This guy is awesome from the standpoint, he's got cojones. He's out there. He calls himself a constitutional scholar, but Chile, you're talking like a constitutional idiot, because you're in court. You got court cases. You're citing those fiction court cases to stand on. Forget it. Become a constitutional scholar. Come into the quantum world. Understand we are under a COG, continuity of government. There's a military operation going on. We're under martial law. It is the maxims of law that apply. And on the services page in the documents section, maxims of law. In YouTube, scroll through. YouTube does a very nice job of putting the majority of my videos where it's difficult for you to find them. Because I think it says recent, popular, and then there's a down arrow. You got to click that down arrow and then click live. Most of my videos I've done live, because a 20-minute video takes me 12 to 14 hours to upload. So once I got the ability to go live, I just started doing my videos live. I don't have editing ability. It doesn't matter if I pre-record them or not. They're still going to be the same. So it sure would be great to see us organized to a right to carry, right to travel, where we notify the sheriff in every county that of our route for that day, that we're coming through, and that we are willing to die. Give me liberty or give me death. We are willing to die to exercise our rights. Are you willing to die to infringe on our rights, Mr. Sheriff? And then we get these auditors, digital warriors. We get cameras involved. And we take with us our total dissolved solid analyzers for the water and our electroanalyzers for the water. And everywhere we stop, we analyze the water, and we show the people how stinking, contaminated, and dirty and filthy their water is. And I'll tell you, I don't think it would take long. I don't think it would take a week. And that right to travel, right to carry caravan would make the Trump train look like a little kid's game of Tonka toys. And that caravan would split up and travel all across the country. We would have a celebration like you can't believe. And then that caravan would start getting smart. And it would start surrounding the sheriff's departments and these circuit courts and these district courts. And we, the people, would demand a constitutional county and the removal of these bailiffs from these fiction courts of enslavement, courts of death, courts that can only speak to the dead. This is what we need to do, people. And I'm trying to inspire you. In opposition to the New World Order, I'm posting this on Bastion. I don't know what Bastion is, but thank you. Anybody got any questions for me? Because we rolled up on an hour here, and I think I laid it out pretty good, what I wanted to say. All right, everybody, I love you. I'm fighting for you. And I'm going to be back soon. All right, everybody. Bye for now. Have a great day. Own your authority. Don't fall on the sword. Share Josh's video. One of the people on YouTube